everyone, to the League of Cinephiles. I'm your host, Alex Ulmer.
And I am Luke.
And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of CINEMAWARS, our first of Season 4. Luke, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Season 4 often is the best season. Just look to Game of Thrones and Succession, so I think we will do just that.
It's been a while, guys. Over 6 months. The last CINEMAWARS episode, the Battle Royale, premiered in August of last year, so over 6 months at this point. We're so excited to be back to you all. And today's prompt for the first CINEMAWARS of Season 4 and 2024 is, what is the worst movie to watch on a first date?
I went to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes with a girl once, although I was 12, so I don't think that really counts. But it was a very good movie. I just don't know how good of a date movie it is, so I'll see what the competitors bring today.
We have 4 fabulous players, some new ones, some, OGs that you'll remember. First, he's an OG. He is one of our best. It's Lucky Boy Reviews. Back for Season 4.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I can't believe this is the final season.
And someone else who we didn't have to recast for our final season, it's Rod.
I'm still, trying to figure out the contract negotiations, though, Alex. I'm trying to figure out what's my pay this season.
He was holding out for a while there, but he's back. He's back for another season. It is James from First Reviews.
Hello.
Love the background, James. The plant spices things up.
Yeah, I have to do something against this white crazy. Right?
I love the asymmetry there.
Finally, making her Season 4 debut. She showed up in the Battle Royale for her CINEMAWARS debut, but she's back as a confirmed member of the final season, Little J.
Hi, thank you for having me back for the final season.
All right, Luke, rules. You got it.
Oh, you make me read the rules again every season. CINEMAWARS, there will be 3 rounds, the opening statement, the rebuttals, and the closing statement. There will be a cinema-related prompt in which competitors must find an answer for. A wheel will be spun to determine who will pick their answer first. Competitors will argue on behalf of their answer and will debate against the other competitors. The judges will grade each competitor out of 5 points for the opening and closing rounds and 10 points for the more important rebuttal round. And the competitor with the most points at the end of the match will be declared the winner.
Alex, I swear to God, if I go last, I'm going to be really pissed off.
All right, let's see. 25% chance.
Big money.
Unless you go after me, Rod. Movie I chose for the worst first date movie was Blue Valentine, with Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams, because it's pretty simple. I'm like, the movie starts off so positive and optimistic. These two are falling in love and we can all kind of relate to that feeling. And then the end of it is, it's heartbreaking. It's like one of the saddest endings I've seen in a movie in a long time. And to see that on a first date, you're already fast forwarding your entire relationship to just the heartbreak, the painful part. None of the optimism. It's all just being depleted by the minute as you're watching this movie.
Spin again, Slice. I didn't even pick it. I didn't even do that. It just shows up. All right. I swear if it goes spin again. Oh, thank God. James.
I am going to go with Manchester by the Sea. To me, Manchester by the Sea, of all the movies I've watched, I have never watched a more depressing movie in my entire life. And the amount of negative emotion that comes from this movie, the depression, the sadness, the horrifying circumstances of the story, all the tragic things that happens to the main character's family. To me, that's just it's so tragic and so sad that I don't know how anyone could recover from that movie. I don't know how anyone could even last maybe the whole length of the movie. Being a first date, it's over 2 hours long. It's just going to drag you into the pits of hell. So to me, that's just a no-no, and that's impossible to.
Just flip a coin. Same thing.
That's a disappointment. Wait.
So the movie that I picked for the first worst date movie is completely different to yours too, and it's Teeth. Just because it's a what the hell is going on movie, and it's scary for both people, and the whole time it's just an uncomfortable film to watch, and I just think it is just the worst film to watch on a first date, because it's just on the inside you will be panicking, and I just think it's a crazy film that is just a terrible first watch.
Rod, finally, your turn to
Oh, I thought
go.
you were gonna go ahead and spin the wheel again. I chose what's similar to Lucky Boys. Actually, it's Past Lives, film that came out last year, and similar to yours, Lucky Boy. It's very. I mean, it's a whole what if movie. What if this? What if that? What if this? And it starts out kind of like Blue Valentine, right? Very sweet. You see these two childhood friends who definitely have mutual feelings for each other, and they grow up and they grow apart, stuff like that. And, one starts dating another person, and one's off in Korea, wherever he's living at, and they rekindle their relationship. I don't know how many years later, and it's heartbreaking at the end. Because, like I said, it's a whole what if scenario, and it's one that's very personal to me because I kind of related to it a little bit. And I would never, ever, ever, ever take a girl on a first date to that because especially if it was a girl I really liked, after we saw that, she'd probably be gone.
Opening arguments are now done with. Me and Luke, who are the judges, will now grade each competitor out of 5. Scores have been tabulated for the first round. Your overall brief thoughts.
I enjoyed the answers. I enjoyed the variety of the answers. I've seen only one of those, so it's going to be an interesting match.
All right. James, 7.8. Little J, 7.4. Lucky Boy, 8.3. And Rod at 7.9. But don't worry, guys. The most valuable stage is just around the corner, the rebuttal stage. Whoever wants to get started.
If I wanted to end any relationship, I would pick any one of those. Just kill the optimism before it starts.
Blue Valentine and Past Lives, I think there's still really romantic moments in that film, whereas Teeth isn't romantic at all. There's nothing about it that's romantic. There's never a point where you look at the other person and you're like, oh, it happened with us, or I just feel like Blue Valentine and Past Lives there are moments where it is very cute and very heartwarming. And with Manchester by the Sea, there are bits that you can connect over. It is and they're all very good films. They're good films to watch. And with Manchester by the Sea, even though it's so depressing, I still do think there are moments where you can connect with that person and you can discuss during those films. I just feel like Teeth is so uncomfortable that the whole time you're like, I don't know what to say. I've just sat here watching this and I don't know how to kind of go anywhere else.
Yeah, see, Teeth is terrifying from beginning to end.
For Teeth, for me, I consider it almost hilarious. So to me, I don't even think it would be that bad of a first date movie. I think if you find the right person, it's a campy, ridiculous concept where I think it would almost be funny to kind of watch, and it would be it would really give you something to talk about after as well, which I think is actually part of a good date movie. It's something weird and interesting where you can at least talk about it after, because we all know realistically first dates kind of as a movie kind of suck in general because you can't even talk to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, that's what I thought of for Teeth. And then yeah, I similar thought as Little J for Blue Valentine and Past Lives. They're still in that genre of a romance, even though it doesn't end well, obviously. But I still feel you could definitely watch that. I've watched Past Lives with my girlfriend, no issues with it at all. So it's still just one of those kind of movies where there is a lot of good elements of it, and it still has a romance story baked around it, where it hits the genre for me of what makes a date movie, even if it doesn't end well. Plus, everybody watches murders on Netflix and this and that. I don't even think it's that bad. With
Blue Valentine, I'd just be afraid that after the movie, she would just age me 15 years, be oh, he's gonna be fat, bald, and an alcoholic. I can see it heading in that direction real fast.
With Teeth, I'm similar to James. If you find the right person, I feel there's a lot of alcohol. There's a lot of fun to be had. Or something a fun kind of drunk Saturday night Netflix watch or whatever that you can talk about afterwards. Maybe not over dinner, but over some more alcohol or something, and just kind of laugh about it. Be yeah, we watched that.
I know, because you would have had to find that connection with that person by the time you watched it. For the first film, you have no clue. You might not even know who that person is. And the right person, you would have to know them quite well.
And what if she loved it? You're Jesus.
On Bumble or something. I'm not going to show a person I've just been on Bumble or one of those dating apps teeth or something. What if something like friend that turned into?
That's true. You would have had to do zero research before you went into that movie because you're like, if you knew even what the basic premise was, and you're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger on this. I'm bringing a first date.
Right.
But yeah, Blue Valentine, they kind of fleece you on that one. You think it's gonna just be this kind of a rom-com, and then nope.
James, I'm glad you and your girlfriend had no issues. I'm very happy. Happy, thriving. Let me tell you, I went on a date. It wasn't the first date, but we went on a date to go see Past Lives. And I kid you not, on the way back home, all it was, man, you know, what if we didn't take a break? Or, you know, what if? And there was like 20 minutes in between of just like her talking about her exes. And
I was going to say, do you have a girl from your past too? That's like, it just starts flaring up old memories. You're like, oh
Yes.
no. Yeah,
Exactly.
see, yeah.
So it was bringing up a lot of bad memories.
So that's going to do it. Luke and I will tabulate scores. A very fun round. Round 2, the rebuttal stages you mentioned earlier, the most important of the 3. Your brief thoughts.
Yeah, always the most interesting round. We got people's opinions on the other movies, which is always my favorite part of the show. So let's see how they did.
Oh, fuck me. Are you kidding me? I didn't press fucking scroll. We have James at 24.8, Little J a little behind, pun intended, at 24.6, Lucky Boy at 23.3 falls, and then Rod at 24. So we have one more round to bring you all the closing stage, 60 seconds each. We're going to start with Lucky Boy first.
It is kind of that romantic comedy in the beginning where you do have all the hope and the optimism and what you would want from a first date, like that kind of exciting, like butterflies in your stomach feeling. And then you just fast forward 10, 15 years and life happens and things like genetics take like a place. You have a job you don't like. You have a child with this person. For me, that movie was kind of I think it's most guys' worst nightmare of like having the woman you love kind of go back to an ex or like start getting into somebody else. You have a child with this person, so you're going to have like the other thing you love the most in the world ripped out of your life. You get to see him on like every other weekend or whatever it is, and then he's just kind of a burnout. Like he has a shitty job. Like I'm like, dude, it's literally like my nightmare scenario for the future.
It's beautifully made, wonderfully acted, and all of that. But as I was kind of saying earlier, you know, it goes back to that whole what if scenario. And I really don't want my date at the end of the movie thinking about previous relationships or stuff that happened previously in her life. You know, like with Teeth, it could be a fun, you know, first date kind of drinking night kind of a film. Y'all can laugh about it. Future dates down the road. Even with Blue Valentine, hey, I showed my first date a Ryan Gosling movie. That's not bad. All girls like Ryan Gosling, I think. I can't speak for a woman, but I think most girls like Ryan Gosling. They can watch like a fun Ryan Gosling film for half an hour before it turns really depressing. And then for Manchester by the Sea, James, you chose a really depressing film, man. So it's hard to attack because that movie is so depressing. But at the end of the night, I could always just comfort her and be like, hey, we can watch Grey's Anatomy afterwards. I'll make you some tea. Let's watch Grey's Anatomy.
So Teeth is a completely uncomfortable film and it's unwatchable. There are some graphic scenes that make you cringe so hard and make you debate your life. And it's just like with you guys, there are romantic moments, and I think there are moments which are cute and you can bond over. Whereas mine is just, it's not a good movie at all, and for multiple different reasons. And it's just, there's so many aspects of it that make you not want to be with someone next to you. Like, it's scary. Like even your psychology will make you not want to even go near a woman for like and for a first film, I think it's just the worst one that you can pick out of all of them. And with you guys, I feel like there are moments where you can bond and connect and discuss what you guys like about relationships and what you don't like about like different things.
So yeah, Manchester by the Sea, definitely a genre that's super tough for a first date, right? It's a staunch drama. It's definitely not something that would be ideal in that first date scenario. So, you know, it's completely like impossible to like kind of watch. The movie itself is intense. It's overwhelming with sorrow, grief, you know, so many feelings of violence, suicide, loss, just constantly throughout it. It's just a complete disaster. So like, and even for the ending, there's like no closure for the people watching it. So Also, I just felt like, it was tough to rebuttal against mine. Nobody really gave any arguments against it. Probably because it is so depressing and feels like real life. And when you're on a first date, you really want something that's like a romance or something like fun and exciting, right? And with this movie, watching Manchester by the Sea, the couple saying goodbye to each other at the end of the night would be basically the least depressing thing of that entire date. So that, to me, is why it is the worst one.
Final scores are now complete. They've been submitted. Luke, we ended on a very high note. What your thoughts on the last round as well as the match as a whole?
I think the last round, everyone summed up their points perfectly, their main points especially. And if I ever get a date, I will not be showing any of these movies. I'm sure of that.
That is a good note, guys. We have a
No, it is not a
winner.
good note.
Hey, watch it, co-host. Watch it. All right, guys. We have a winner at the end of the day, though, and your winner of the first CINEMAWARS of Season 4, James!
Let's go! Yes. Thank you, Casey Affleck, for being such a depressing prick that entire movie. And thank you, Boston.
James, you won score 33.1 to 32.9, 31.4, and 32.6. So the scores, you were up by 0.2 heading into the final round, and you and Little J both battled there at the end, but you still had the edge by the same amount that you did going into the last round with. Your thoughts? This is your second CINEMAWARS win, actually.
Wow.
Quietly sneaking up there in the ranks of, some of the best. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was great. The episode was great. Everybody picked pretty good movies. I liked all the choices. I actually had Blue Valentine as one of my picks, but he went first. So, it was amazing. I gotta watch Teeth. That one sounds hilarious. The other ones I like them just 'cause they're like romantic movies, but yeah, depressing at the end. I don't know. It's fantastic. Everybody was good. It was fun, like always. I definitely was considering a few other movies to pick, like I said, like a fun Schindler's List. But all I kept thinking of when you first said what the worst first date movie was Taxi Driver, when he takes the girl to the cinema to watch a nice foreign movie. Like that's the only thing I kept thinking of.
All right, James. Well, congratulations. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Thanks again.
Guys, a battle well fought from all of you.
Yeah, it was really fun arguing with you guys. But maybe I would go for a different route. I just feel like mine is just like really just scary in a way that's just like funny as well. But you guys had really good picks. I was debating some of them picks to bring to the video, but yeah.
Lucky Boy Rod, you guys have been in a lot of these. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you're on, this side of the screen. You've been on the other side as well a fair amount of times too.
What are you trying to say, Alex? What are you trying to say, man?
Hey. This is a numbers game. Your thoughts
a numbers game.
And if you guys were to go back and pick different movies, would you do that?
No, I'd probably stick with the same one.
Love to see it.
Still stick with Past Lives. Very close to choosing a Michael Bay film. I feel like you can still have some fun with a Michael Bay film. But this was a lot of fun. It's good seeing Lucky Boy again, competing against Little J and James for the first time. So it's just great being back competing.
Yeah,
for sure, guys. Season 4 is just getting started, so plenty of opportunities down the road to get those point totals up, win, and just have fun in general, which is the most important part. Thanks again for coming on, guys. See you soon. Match is over. James is the winner. We have our worst first date movie. It is Manchester by the Sea. Now, I'm not sure we were both planning on watching this on our first date anyways, but good, it's now set in stone that it is the worst first date movie.
Just 0.2 was the difference at the end there. So a lead's changing throughout the match. That's always interesting to see. So I think we're off to a great start in Season 4.
Thank you all for joining us. We have a CINEMAWARS. It's going to be bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks. Watch out Sundays. Every Sunday or every 2 Sundays, a new CINEMAWARS will drop. So make sure you check out 2 Sundays from now. Our next episode will drop. Make sure to check out movie trivia and all the other segments we have on the League of Cinephiles YouTube channel for our final season. Follow us on Instagram at TLOC Productions. Make sure you follow all the individuals on their respective accounts that were in this match. Guys, it's been a pleasure. See you all soon. Ciao.